to TalkSports. Good afternoon to all the viewers, and welcome to our guest, Javin Noel, our co-host, Rudy and Sylvan in Toronto, and welcome to our program. Doing it a bit remotely this afternoon, but I want to thank Javin Noel, who is, by the way, the chairman of the St. Andrew Sports Council, and for joining us. Certainly, we'll be hearing a lot from Javin as it relates to developments with the Sports Council in the big parish, St. Andrew. And we'll hear a little insights from Rudian as well. Rudian representing the historic parish of St. Patrick. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, good afternoon to you, Javin. It's good to have you on with us this afternoon. Pleasure to see you.
Good afternoon to everybody, and the pleasure is always mine to be allowed to speak to you guys on this program.
All right, thank you very much. So, as indicated, I'm coming to you live from a remote location in New Orleans. That's why you're seeing me like that. But as technology affords us the opportunity to connect, okay? Let's say good afternoon to you, Edwin Sam. Edwin, is there any track and field today? Any track and field? Yeah. But I can tell you it's a bit sunny. It's warm today in New Orleans, apart from the past 2 weeks where we had some very cool weather. I assume that's your situation for you, Rudian, in Toronto. And Javin, I guess as much as usual, spice side, sunny.
Yeah, surely there'll be the snow outside, but it's pretty good. They did mention snow happening from last night into today, but haven't seen nothing yet, so that's a good thing. So probably it's in a different location, so that's good. But all is good.
Right. Okay. So let's move on to the program now. Javin, we invited you to be on the program, certainly to speak to us about the St. Andrew Sports Council. Now, since the formation of the various parish sports councils, we have not been hearing much about what's happening. Tell me, since you were elected chairman of the St. Andrew Sports Council, what has been taking place?
All right. So pleasant good afternoon once again to everyone. So before I get directly into it, again want to share my thanks for having me on this program today. So I just want to speak a little bit about the National Sports Council, and then I will move on to the Parish Sports Council, and then I will address the question. So basically the National Sports Council works under the auspices of the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and it is a statutory body which is involved, or the aim and the vision of the Sports Council is to promote sport and physical activity in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And to achieve that, there are various sectors or various disciplines that needs to be, worked on. Our idea is really to collaborate with different stakeholders and not to compete, but to really enhance, promote fairness, promote inclusiveness with all sports, not just the dominant ones, but the not so popular ones as well, to implement an incentive base for national athletes and athletes that perform at the highest level, and to just, as I said, take care of facilities, maintain facilities, and to promote a nice, healthy lifestyle of physical activity in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and with sport at the center of it. The Parish Sports Council takes its guidelines or its mandate from the National Sports Council. So then you have each chair of the Parish Sports Council alluding or included in the National Sports Council. So the National Sports Council will give its directive and plan the direction forward, and then you disseminate to the different parish sports council. So the parish sports council more or less is guided by the same principles and values, just specific to that parish. So since I was elected and since our team was elected as the executive to serve on the St. Andrews Sports Council, it has definitely been, um, let's say how I would put it, I would like to explain it as, drops in the ocean or drops in the river. Um, Keeping in mind that the Sports Council is somewhat something new, um, and definitely has a lot of frameworks, has a lot of structures, etc., to be set up before full implementation. Um, I'm guessing that is why many persons haven't been hearing much, but there has been some development process taking place. And of course, in the pipeline, in the background, these ideas, these things will be coming into play, and I guess the public will be hearing from it soonest. But also, we have to kind of get a picture of the stage the National Sports Council and the Parish Sports Council is at, which is its fundamental stage.
Rudian?
Yes, there's a lot, to put in there. One question, you mentioned stakeholders. Do each parish have to somewhat have their own stakeholders, or they get the support from the National Sports Council, or do they also, is it you also try to find some extra help by finding some stakeholders in your parish?
So definitely there can be different stakeholders, but the National Sports Council on a whole, its biggest stakeholder is the government, in which it receives its subvention from. Now each parish council will receive a subvention on a monthly basis or for a monthly basis. Um, Different parishes, however, will collaborate or team up with different stakeholders to meet their different needs, of course. So yes.
What is, as the chairman, what is your plan for St. Andrews itself? I've spoken to the St. Patrick's, and I spoke to someone who's on the board, and they give me an idea of what they're hoping to do for the people. I was want to hear from you. What is your plan as the chairman?
Well, our plan as an executive of the St. Andrews Sports Council is really, as I mentioned, the guidelines as from the National Sports Council, which includes inclusivity, which includes capacity building, technical advancements, called the grassroots program, holiday recreation programs, that is, getting more clubs, communities active. And there is also a section of which includes physical literacy and physical activity, which speaks to the elderly folks. So to promote health, to promote mental health, mental well-being, etc. So these are definitely some of the things our executive have in the pipeline. Of course, again, our aim is not to compete but to collaborate as it relates to the different fields. As you would probably aware, that the Sports Council has or will be given the mandate sometime in the near future. They would be assigned one field, one specific field to basically oversee. So we would be a part of that collaboration process. We would be communicating with different stakeholders, communicating with the ministry, communicating with the clubs, the different leagues, the different teams, to ensure that, for example, football and cricket season, we don't have that kind of clash, and we could really provide that support for all persons who need the support.
Yeah, but listen, from since the formation of this parish sports council, councils rather, to now, um, don't you think that people may figure that it's time that they see some tangible, you know, outcomes from the Sports Council because they have been formed. I assume you all have been meeting and things like that. So, but there's nothing to show that the Sports Council, by the way, you all may be working in the background, but in
Yeah.
terms of tangibles, that's what people may want to see. What it is, can you see to the public now, especially the folks in St. Andrews, as what you all have accomplished, what you have been doing over the past few months?
And if I can add on that before you answer, Michael, I'm just going to add on to it. Like as we're coming up now with school sports, are you guys involved in any support in that area in terms of school sports that's taking place now in track and field or even football that just finished?
Well, definitely, I mean, persons saw, the sports council coming into play, and many were excited, as it relates to support, and persons really get to feel like, hey, you have an executive who speaks directly to the parish. So persons definitely was excited when the talk about the sports council came into play. So yes, I agree that they would want to see something tangible. But actually, the National Sports Council was supposed to launch officially. That did not happen due to various reasons. But we did launch more or less our first activity, which was the physical literacy workshop, and that happened just last Tuesday. That launched last Tuesday. Uh, One of the major programs that I can see to really launch and make our presence be known is the holiday recreation program, which is in the pipeline to be implemented. Again, as I said, we are under the auspices of the ministry, and although we are statutory body, and our subventions finances come from the ministry or the government of Grenada, and so we are being patient. We are waiting for uh, resources to be allocated to the different parishes as it relates to the different sporting disciplines. Um, we can offer support through collaboration, through communication, and probably seeing how best we can champion certain decisions, champion certain consultation processes. Well, as it relates to physical resources, we have not had much of that being into play.
So how okay. So how get how do the resources as it the in terms of
Second, Michael, you're breaking up a little bit.
responsibility?
So you're breaking up a little
Yeah.
bit, so the question
Is
didn't
it
come out clear.
yeah? Is it that the council is charged with the responsibility of um, coming up with its own coming up with resources, or do you have to depend on the National Sports Council?
So part of it is, as I said, we will receive our subvention from the National Sports Council through the government of Grenada. Although we can uh, find our resources to fill or to satisfy basic needs and fundraising. We have the go ahead to do that, etc. So yes.
Oh, okay. Uh, you know, in our discussion prior to the program, we spoke about some of the developments within the parish. For example, a major development is that of the lighting of the main sporting arena in the parish. That's Progress Park in St. Andrew. Certainly, it's good news for the people of Big Parish, St. Andrew. And I'm hoping that it's also great news for the folks of the St. Andrew Sports Council. What plans are in place to ensure that with the lighting of such a facility in the big parish, that it will be fully utilized? I'm not certain if under the mandate that the St. Andrews Sports Council will have the responsibility of coordinating or managing, facilities in the parish. But what sort of plans are in place with such a development for St. Andrew regarding the lighting of the main sporting arena, Progress Park?
Well, definitely, that is a massive project. One we've anticipated for years, and I'm sure the people of St. Andrew definitely was excited to hear that announcement. I just want to state that that project is a part of the ministry and not necessarily National Sports Council, but as it relates to the input of the St. Andrew Sports Council, basically, as I said, we collaborate for the use of the venue. We collaborate in hosting. Um, as we all know, Progress Park is of international standard for cricket for different sporting disciplines. So our aim and intention is to harbor that to ensure that the it is most definitely taken care of to bring opportunities, bring we can look at the tourism aspect of it. We can look at the capacity building aspect of it. We can look at hosting different events, and all these sorts of things to bring traffic to the parish and to create more opportunities for different sporting disciplines, different clubs in the parish as it relates to um, utilizing that playing field. Well, they have mentioned the plans, as I said before, to sort of a mini stadium kind of thing. So that in itself can house so many different things. And just to speak off my head, as I said, so many things that can be harnessed with the construction or the upgrading of that facility.
Okay. Let me say good afternoon to your dad, Mr. Junior Alexis. He is, well, by the way, for folks who are probably wondering, Javin comes from a sporting family, right? He's involved in volleyball. His mom involved in both netball, volleyball, and other sports, but particularly those two, netball in the parish of St. Andrews, volleyball. And his dad has been a um, he has some long involvement and experience in various sporting disciplines, particularly track and field in the parish of St. Andrew. Javin, moving on to other, particularly, I know your baby has to do with volleyball, um, your mom in netball and this sort of thing, but track and field, cricket, football have been major sporting disciplines and successes for the parish of St. Andrew. How you hope that the sports council can work with the various leagues in the parish, because when it comes to cricket, for example, St. Andrews have probably the biggest cricket league in the country, in some, when you have the cricket tournaments, and then you have the St. Andrews Football League. In fact, as we speak, there is the St. Andrews Football League, yeah, St. Andrews Football League, where the various villages and things they play. In fact, I get the scores almost on a daily basis, right? How you hoping that these and probably track and field um, could be revitalized for the big parish. Let's say starting with track and field. Eastern Games was well, one of the biggest sporting spectacles for the big parish many years ago. The Eastern Games. Everyone looked forward to the Eastern Games. Then you had the Western Games that Rudian probably might be aware of, right? But how are you hoping that the St. Andrews Sports Council can play a leading role in revitalizing some of these sporting activities?
But definitely, being a part of the sports council allows us to be that driving force to re-implement so many things and to create or to recreate so many structures, so many leagues as it relates to sports in St. Andrew. One of the things that our executive did was to create a SWOT analysis, and that SWOT analysis was submitted by each council to the National Sports Council. So then we put implementation plan as to what is needed in each different parish. I mean, you said it correctly. Definitely, St. Andrew has been the uh, top in various sporting disciplines. And myself being a part of some of those sporting disciplines, and myself being able to experience and to see what it was like before, I think we could all agree that it needs some revitalization. As it relates to collaboration, again, our aim is to really drive and be the driving force for the implementation, and not just we see, look, okay, we are having this tournament, but we are having this tournament with the correct structures in place, with the correct quality in place. So one of the objective is to improve the quality of our leagues, improve the quality of our clubs, promote structure in different clubs, in different leagues. So that has a domino effect. So we have a right wrong quality improvement, and definitely that will contribute greatly as it relates to the implementation to different sporting bodies in St. Andrew. You mentioned the Eastern Games, and that is something that will be returning. I mentioned the holiday recreation program. That is something in the pipeline to be returning as well. So again, it's just definitely it's up to the different stakeholders of the St. Andrews Sports Council to really collaborate to ensure that we have the re-implementation, the revitalization of sport in St. Andrews.
It's great hearing that, and I assume Rudian on your side, the sports councils. In fact, we have all the parishes, including Karaku and PD Martin, with existing sports councils, and we're hoping that they, like the St. Andrews Sports Council, probably can have some programs, because I'm certain that there will be some concerns from people that, hey, we have heard about formation formation of the sports council and the national sports council. We heard about it, and but we have not seen anything. But it's nice to know that a lot of work is going on in the background, and I assume it's just a matter of the resources that's necessary now. Is it something that with we're in the by the way, we're in the month of March. I think March is budget month, right? So if let's say budget, the budget is presented this month. Let's just use this month, March. How soon do you think, Javin, that you can see some, because CEDAS is just resources that basically needed now, right? How soon we can see again some tangibles by the summer meeting, by June, July, September, but do we expect to see something before the end of 2025?
Well, definitely, Mr. Bascom, if I would say,
I find it take long.
I was allowing you to finish.
Okay.
I would be happy if, let's say, 1 week after the budget is ready, we get the go ahead to do so many things. Because our calendar of events is something that was submitted, and even now we have different persons, different leagues who may want to host tournaments. I mean, it would have been ideal at a time where you have different sports in disciplines or different sports meets happening. We could have really said, hey, we want to contribute, we want to support. I mean, we have the St. Andrew branch sports meet, athletics meet on Monday. It would really be great if the St. Andrew Sports Council can say, hey, we all in this, we're ensuring that when we go to represent, we have the best quality of athletes, we have the best quality of uniforms, best quality of equipment, training staff, etc., etc. I mean, so that is something that is not really, I mean, all we can do is wait for the resources. Again, probably somebody will be looking and say, well, yes, let us organize and give the St. Andrew Sports Council their subvention ASAP so they can do their plans. You see, I just want to mention the unique opportunity that the Sports Council, St. Andrew Sports Council, and the National Sports Council allows us. And that is we meet regular, we discuss the plans, and we discuss the implementation moving forward. So let's say it is a case where the St. Andrew Sports Council determines a plan and we discuss it as a National Sports Council. St. Patrick or St. David can say, hey, this is a good idea. Let us do it in our parish as well. So it won't be a case where you have, a parish getting left behind or etc. Because individually, your parish sports council should grow, which will complement to the National Sports Council. So that is the unique opportunity we possess. So definitely, I am um, I am excited. The executive is excited. We are patiently waiting for our resources so we can definitely implement some of the many plans we have. Again, capacity building. One thing that was identified in our SWOT analysis is a capacity building. The lack of certified coaches. I mean, you have football coaches per se. Most times you have senior players or former national players say, well, hey, let me form a team. But do they really know all the technical and tactical aspects to the coaching?
Yeah.
And I can speak, of course, from my own personal experience as it relates to volleyball. So that is one thing we want to ensure to promote. Again, promote club structure. Most times you would hear a club with only two persons, organizing that club. We want to ensure that persons are aware that a club's strength is really in its members and it's really in its council. So again, that will
Yeah.
complement to the quality of the sporting
Yeah.
structure in the parish and consequently in the country. So that basically, as I said, we're really looking forward to our resources being available. Although there can still be work done as of now, as I said, this SWOT analysis. So it's just a matter of getting our resources, reaching out to the different stakeholders, and implementing as soon as possible. So if it's
All right.
March, we have scheduled events for March. We have scheduled events for April, May, June. So it just a
Mhm.
means of saying, hey, this is where we at. This is what we have. Let's do this moving forward.
Yeah. But it's nice to hear about the return of the various sporting activities in the parish of St. Andrew, because I'm certain that is one of the things that can revitalize the community spirit. St. Andrew's strength has been through the community. When you look at cricket, for example, um, uh, the strength of Grenada's cricket team, national cricket team, over the years, and cricket teams, I should say, because senior and junior, men and women, over the years have been when cricket is strong in the parishes, particularly in St. Andrew and St. David. Okay? So therefore, if the Parish Sports Council can revitalize a lot of the community sporting activities, you know, even if it means just assisting and coordinating those things, encouraging communities, to be engaged, why union a day of fun between union and the next village, for example, come together and have some sporting activities, whether it's track and field, whether it's cricket, whether it's football, just bringing the community out, bringing the communities together and things. If these are the sort of things that the St. Andrew Sports Council can do, I'm certain there'll be folks who will be willing to assist, the corporate Grenada, those in the community in particular, the shops, businesses in the community can come forward and assist. So these are some of the things that we're looking forward to. Again, you said about the capacity building, all these sort of things. These things are very important because if you need proper club structure, it means that you have to get people trained in the various areas and things like that. So let me say good afternoon to Ulrich Spooney saying, shouting you out. I certainly, Javin, Mr. Schoon, And he's saying, congrats. I don't think you're too young to say you don't know Mr. Schoon, right? But certainly, Mr. Schoon himself might be certainly the product, not just of St. Andrews, but a lot of the sporting activities from St. Andrews, whether it's SAS, whether it's Eastern Games and all these sort of things. So I'm certain these are the sort of people who, whether it's Ulrich Spoon, whether it's your dad, Mr. Alexis, whether it's Patrick Simmons, who is on as well, and they are products of some of the sporting activities of the big parish. So I'm certain they will want to play a part in encouraging the revitalizing of these sporting activities. Rudian, over to you.
Certainly, I was very excited when I heard about the sports counseling. Um, I don't know. I don't. I'm speaking as somebody from the parish of St. Patrick's, and as a Grenadian at the same time, and I feel like it feels optimistic now with everything. It's we're not hearing much about what's going on, and I think there's so much can be done without stakeholders. So much can be done without depending on on the Ministry of Sports, and that is where I listen to people and the and how they feel that it feel like it's a negative towards them now. It started good, but you feel like it's a negative because they feel that so much can be done and nothing is being done. And and I think a lot of people feel that way. So I really like what I hear. You talk about getting coaches certified. That can be done. That can be done right now. You don't have to wait for. You do have certified coaches in your parish. You put it out there. People who is interested, and that can be done right now. You know, some sort of courses, some kind of class doesn't have to involve stakeholders. These are the things that can be done because I feel like everything you need to do have to go through them. And I would like to see you as a chairman do something where another parish don't have to do it. It could be on you. I like to see that you talk about you spoke about the St. Andrews League. That is something I want to see. In that way,
Yeah.
St. Andrews have their own thing. St. Andrews
Well,
have their own championship in
well
certain things.
Rudian, I'm glad you mentioned that. Just stick a pin there because
Yeah.
I don't want to forget that you mentioned St. Andrew. So I got that from Mr. Francis Julian, synonymous for the parish of St. Andrews, former principal of SAS, blah, blah. And he wanted to asked that question about cricket in St. Andrews and the council's role in revitalizing it. And he provided a little background. And he said the most powerful organized league on the island just collapsed on itself. There used to be, as he says, 4 divisions. Most villages had at least one or two teams, right? Then he says other parishes like St. John, St. Patrick, and St. David's all had a team or teams in the St. Andrews Cricket League. So it's something he wants that hoping that the St. Andrews Sports Council can revitalize. And that is coming back to what the point Rudian was just making in terms of, and you name cricket, for example, as one,
Yeah.
football, track and field. Go on, Rudian.
Yeah. Yeah, because you see now what St. Andrews may be able to offer, St. Mark's may not be able to offer. So
Yeah,
you don't expect all the parishes to be on the same level in certain
yeah,
things
level.
because of bigger parish, smaller parish, the amount of people some places have and so forth. So
Yeah,
that's how I see certain things, right? Because you have a league. Yes, you could get a league of six teams and you could have things happening. You have netball, you have, everything can be done at a place like St. Mark, they might have one field. You might have two, three fields that you can utilize at a time. So there's a lot. Like again, I'm hearing the good things of what would happen, but I say something that you don't need stakeholders. Something that they have to give you the autonomy to do on your own to start now because things can start right now. The Sports Council board has been out. A lot of people don't know who they are. A lot of
yeah,
people don't know what is going on. A lot of people don't. That's why I asked the question in the beginning in terms of sports is happening and are you guys involved in terms of having one or two members involved in helping the schools, organizing, being a part of letting them know St. Andrew's Sports Council is here as a support. So, understand, even though, so those are the little things that I'd like to see. And I guess it's not you. Please don't. I'm not trying to put it on you because you are a body, but you still have a body over you. So suddenly, you have to respect that. But that's what I would like to see. Um, and I want to see you. You have ideas. I'm watching you, and your head is, you have ideas in there for the people. You mentioned something which also was mentioned to me by someone from St. Patrick's about getting the elderly out. That's stuff that could have been done already. Getting them walking, getting them exercising, stuff like that could be done.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, waiting
Yeah.
till then. I feel a lot of stuff
Yeah.
can be done. You guys have your board already. You guys are there, and you guys can do things now without getting stakeholders
What?
or certain things like that.
Yeah.
That just, how I see. Yeah.
Right. And Rudy, and very interesting indeed. Very, while you were speaking about that, some things are coming to mind because, and you summed it up like that. You do not necessarily have to wait on the resources to do certain things. In fact, through social media, you can do things by encouraging people to do certain things. For example, as Rudy was saying, encourage people to probably on an afternoon to get in a group and do walking and exercising and all these sort of things. That's physical activity. They don't need to do um, solo, but if they can form themselves into a group, so let's say a group of people decide um, every afternoon after 5 o'clock or whatever, we're meeting here and we're doing 3-4 miles of walking and these sort of things. These are things that as a sports council you can claim because you're encouraging people to do it. You don't have to have resources per se to do something like that. You just asking people to come together and do it. You can start it, and St. Andrew Sports Council, walk, fun walk or whatever it is, and meet us at whatever junction, and we're doing 5 miles today, blah blah blah. Next day you're going wherever these sort of things like that. So that don't really need resources per se, but just the sort of spurring the being innovative and things like that. Right. That's what.
So
Um,
so definitely um that is a valid point, a strong
mhm,
point I would say. So we can be more proactive as it relates to
right.
different plans, and definitely where PR and marketing is concerned, we can do a better job of reaching out to the different clubs, different leagues, different teams.
Yeah.
A matter of fact, that was something that was high on the priority list. From since we attempted to have our first council meeting, someone championed the cause. The sports council going out to the different leagues, to the different parishes, rather than sitting and waiting them to come to them. So that has been one of the things that we have been definitely trying to do. We reached out to the SAFL, we reached out to the different cricket teams, etc., etc. So
Mhm.
point definitely a strong point noted, and moving forward, we definitely needs to do a better job as it relates to being proactive and really reaching out to our different leagues, to our different clubs and teams.
All right.
No,
So here's another
definitely.
point.
And
Here's here's
one
another point I
second.
want you to take note of. St. Andrews over the years uh, St. Andrews has produced a number of stalwarts in sports. St. Andrews Sports Council should be the leading vanguard in recognizing, in researching, and recognizing these folks in the various sporting disciplines. Whether it's cricket, football, volleyball, just name the sport. The St. Andrews Sports Council should, if not as yet, but should be researching and probably start in a recognition, probably an annual, sports award and recognition, whatever it is, recognizing the achievement of the parish in the area of sports. Okay, because
And
you
it's
can't
funny,
just
it's funny you
assume
mentioned that
or wait.
because
Yeah.
I was, even on the call, and we discussed this before as an executive, can you remember the first 400-meter record holder for the St. Andrew sports meet, the first branch meet, Many persons, I was not around definitely when that happened, Many
Mm.
persons wouldn't know. But just by, as you said, doing that research, creating that database so we can have these things accessible. We have our heroes in St. Andrew as it relates to sports. I mean, definitely persons would be, glad to see. Let's say you pass by the St. Andrew Sports Council office and you see our board, heroes of St. Andrew, that brings a sense of value and a
Yes.
sense of community spirit. So I mean these are things that definitely needs to happen. We need to show homage to our heroes, to show appreciation to those persons who definitely has contributed to the different sporting disciplines for over the years.
No,
Yeah,
certainly,
please
and that could easily
don't wait
be.
until they leave us. Don't wait until they leave us. Do it now.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
and no, for sure, and that could easily be a billboard that's in the heart of St Andrews. It doesn't have to be four, just the one from every major sport that has contributed and have done great things, go on and be on the national team, who's been on making the Olympic team. Those things are stuff that the young generation should know that St. Andrews have done so much great things. They don't know. And some of the young people, they don't know. You could even
Mm.
have that too with some of those who are still around. They can go into a school, into a classroom and speak to the kids.
Yeah.
These are the things that you guys could initiate because they don't know who the kid. I would like to see.
Mm.
And definitely, I praise a lot of things that you said. Um, and but it has to be activated. It has to be getting going because as much as we waiting for the budget to come so we know where we're at and what's happening. People do get tired after a while and they say, well,
Yeah.
this has been
Yeah.
around for a
Yeah.
long time and I don't hear nothing. I don't see nothing. I
Yeah.
don't know what is
Yeah.
going. I don't know up from down. And hey, have a website. Even those people could still be on the website. You could have
Well,
your own website. So much things that, like I said, can be done. People is just on the go.
um,
They know what's happening. They let's even come back again before you go. We have you have the football, which is the biggest thing in terms of having a Premier League and so forth. One of the teams could say, okay, we're doing a run this Sunday. And next team could say we're doing exercising. Involve them to get the community out. Involve them to do certain things in different parts of St. Andrews. Just involving those teams out there to get going. So I listen, from the beginning, when I hear about the sports council, man, I was beyond excited. I mean, I have an idea that I would like to introduce in St. Patrick's. And I think it can, but to wait, and it's hard to get things done because the same thing. They have to wait. They have to get permission. It's not something that you can just initiative on your own. Everything have to go to a body, and I think that as a body, you should be able to say it's for the people of St. Andrews, and I don't need a permission to do it. It's not anything that is done illegal, and it's not a financial burden on no one. That it can be done. So I know it seems like we putting pressure on you. We are not. We
uh,
totally understand that. How it works. We understand how things work, but surely there's something that the people of St. Andrews want to see. People of St. Patrick's, and again, every parish is different. The number of people in the parishes are different. The number of schools in the parishes also are different. So it's
um,
hard, and challenging to do as much.
um,
Every parish cannot do the same thing. They can't,
yeah.
as
So
much
it's
as they
as
want.
plain and simple as
Yeah.
I mean, no, not in any way you are, applying pressure, and that is something we must encourage. The ideas and the plans for implementation. You know,
Yeah.
um, but plain and simple, we need to implement.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
no way around that. So I
Simple.
Yeah.
can come on the program, I can
Say
meet
whatever you want to say.
everybody
Yeah.
involved in sports and say the world of things, but we need to implement and we
Implement.
need
Yeah.
to see the fruits, of different things coming. So, I mean, I welcome the discussion definitely. And I just want to throw it out to, the persons of St. Andrew involved in sports. We are in the process of creating and forming the different committees. So we have a football and netball committee, a volleyball committee, a table tennis committee. So do not be afraid to share your ideas. Come on board onto this Niger Sports Council. Let us all play our part in ensuring that we revitalize, we implement, we recreate, and we get that community spirit going again. But
Yeah.
definitely, I am biased to St. Andrew always, and I mean, these are where my roots lie. So definitely, sport has been something I have been always passionate about.
Uh,
Persons will know me
who
probably more in the volleyball arena, but here we have an opportunity for each person to champion their cause and to ensure to be a part of that process, because the council members were a part of the process. The people of St. Andrew, were a part of the process in making the first step in electing an executive to represent the St. Andrew Sports Council. So I don't want, persons to think that, okay, you elect us and then that is it. No, we keep working and we keep working to implement a better sporting, a better community spirit, a better physical activity promotion for the parish of St. Andrew. So again, I want to just invite persons who are interested, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be an executive member or be a part of any committee, but just share a brilliant idea, and that could definitely go a long way.
um while we at it, can you share with us again the your executive as the chairman and who are the other members of the that committee of the council?
Yes, well, definitely. And just before I get to it, I want to say how so very happy I am to have these persons working along with me. Definitely, each executive member is unique in their own way, and I do
Mhm.
believe that we have the capability of definitely reaching far as it relates to you know, getting things done. So as everyone will know, myself as the chairman, as the vice chair, you have Mr. Basil Richards. He is very definitely active in the Sub Spartans football team, and
Okay.
he is involved in cricket as well. Then we have Mr. Marvin Cox, who is the treasurer. Does accounting by profession and definitely has some great ideas to bring to the table as it relates to the advancement of sports. We have Miss Kesha Edgar, again involved with the Paradise FC International. And we
Mhm.
know Paradise, we know the structure that Paradise has and the
Yeah.
structure which they can promote and the reach in which, and just to speak as it relates to quality and and the promotion of that sport. We have Mr. Jake Rennie again,
Yeah.
who is one of the growing legends as it relates to football in Grenada, and has so many ideas to bring to the table. Then we have Mr. Glyden Christopher, who is a director. Again, somebody with a wealth of knowledge,
In
somebody with
sports,
so
right?
much
Yeah.
reach,
Yeah.
somebody with so many, administrative experience. And I'm very happy that he, decided to join. Uh,
E-
then we have
Especially in school sports, right, Mr.
that.
Glyden? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And then we
Yeah.
have Sarah and Mark. She is a part of the St. Andrew branch executive, and
Mhm.
she again has that communication with the different schools. So here we have different persons who can address the different sporting disciplines and different areas. I mean, I'm not trying to, and if he's probably watching, I would want to apologize if it comes out that if I'm calling oldest on him, but Mr. Christopher, I mean, retired, deciding to come on board. There you have it, someone who can reach out to all the elders or to most of the elders as it relates to that physical activity part of it. So again, the team, in my belief, is a very capable team. As Rudian indicated, we just need to implement all the plans that we have in the pipeline.
Yes, certainly,
Okay.
and that is surely amazing. You know the great names you call, and some of them I've heard about. You know, so because I'm not a St Andrews man, but I hear those names. So surely, you know, one of the things when the sports council decided to come up, I said, man, the opportunity that Grenada have to have sports constantly. This is like constantly sports happening in Grenada. Champions of champions. And if the government could just see what some of us see, sports build nations. And we could see that. And we in Grenada could start something that Caribbean islands or countries could adapt to. You could have your own championship within your country. St. Andrews could, within the leagues you have in St. Andrews, then you have a St. Andrews team, a St. Andrews netball team, basketball team, football team, just within St. Andrews. Plus, you have your own playing amongst the parishes. So you have a champions of champions in Grenada, and that can be going on where sports is always playing. Netball is playing today, then you have football tomorrow, you have basketball, and something is constantly going because it keeps the people active on what to want to do. The only thing there is right now, and I'm just saying it now, and forgive me, I am not going wrong with my people, is they want to party, they want to drink, they want that. But if there is sports, you will find a lot of people getting involved.
Yeah.
People want to get involved. So
The
when you take
opportunity.
away something, the opportunity is there. So I don't know if that's the plan. I see that vision to
So,
have national
so
teams. Every
thing,
parish have a team. However, I hope it is because, like I said, sport. Like other countries will want to adapt to this, and then you're going to see things
Yeah.
happening.
But
So
it
I
is
think it's a
a
good
it,
idea.
so,
yeah, and it is a platform as well. Going back to your campaign promise when you are campaigning to vote your team, let us
Yeah,
unite to redefine and elevate our nation's sporting legacy. Right.
yeah,
So this is a springboard. It's a platform for elevating, and we know. And again, I'm saying when parishes like St. Andrew and St. David in particular are doing well in sports, well, St. David's cricket, St. Andrew's cricket and football, you know, we know that in terms of Grenada, we're doing well, right? I know I'll
yeah.
get a lot. I may get a lot of links for that
No, no,
because
no.
of
But
the
you're
leagues.
right. You're right.
No, and
Yeah,
because of the
yeah.
the, the, the
With the
leagues
leagues.
and things
Yeah.
like that. The leagues, four divisions, as Francis Julian was saying. You can't go wrong with these sort of things because well
Yep.
structured. I recall in my days in the media with Claudius George providing regular weekend updates for us in terms of St. Andrew's cricket. Okay, the only thing that used to spoil it is the weather. But other than that, just about every village they're playing cricket, and that's when Grenada was strong in cricket. So
Yeah.
certainly,
I
it's an
mean,
opportunity for the Parish Sports
just
Council to elevate sports in the parish and in Grenada.
just to piggyback on that point, and I think probably I would have to check to see where I, left my notebook because it seems like Rudy and I told it. So just imagine, and one of the things promoted by the National Sports Council is to have every 2 years, sorry, you have a Grenada Games.
Yes, games, yeah.
And I was a part of the process of creating the draft document, and the intention is to have competitions by the parish, and then
The
you
parishes,
select the
yeah.
team, and then again we have existing leagues which we can use for that. So
Mhm.
it's not a case where we say, well, we have to start from scratch. There is a
Yeah.
SAFL league going, there is a Senator Cricket League going on. And just to mention, as it relates to talent identification, when you expose our athletes to these different sorts of tournaments, you identify the talents and you encourage persons to come on board, and you ensure, competitiveness always brings out the best talent. So you ensure that that team, of course, with promoting a good and transparent structure, that you ensure that the team represented in not just sports council definitely will be a team of quality and a team to possibly represent Grenada as it relates to certain sporting disciplines. So that is, again, that is the power of this sport of coming together to support the sports council and driving that force as it relates to the revitalization of sports in the parish and in the country.
All right.
That's really good.
Yes, Mr. Sam is saying, Mr. B, I can't help noticing that you are sporting the purple and gold. You have been in New Orleans far too long. Certainly, as you know, this weekend is Mardi Gras weekend in New Orleans. So you know the colors, right? I'll tell you more about that. Good point. Roger is saying, good point, Rudian. The playing field is ripe for sports. As for now, the options are FEP, drink a rum, beach, and walk in the mall. Oh, and I forget, watching and listening to Talk Sports. No, but it's a good point he's making in terms of
Yeah.
if you have the activities, right? Um, Planned activities, I think people will participate. For example, look, was it last weekend that was the relay meet, for example, right?
Yeah.
Good weather, and it turned out to be a fabulous in terms of the crowd, even though most people show up a little late, but that's it, that's the nature of it. But I'm saying that to say, could you imagine a relay meet in Big Parish St. Andrews organized by the Sports Council? Let's just use that. Giving the schools in St. Andrews an opportunity to prepare themselves for intercall, right? Bring have some teams probably from St. Patrick and St. David as nearby, but organized and coordinated in St. Andrew. Could you imagine something like that? The kind of knowing the interest in relays and things like that. So you have it on let's say a Saturday afternoon, Progress Park, SAS, St. Grenada Secondary School,
Yeah.
St. Joseph
Yeah.
Convent, St. Andrews, all the secondary schools in Big Parish. And then you invite some other schools to make up lanes then, okay? To make up the lanes. So McDonald College and the Christian Academy, not the Christian Academy, the
Montrose.
Seventh Day Adventist, Montrose, are
Montrose.
the
Yeah.
other schools that can get a lane. And probably if you have an extra lane, probably St. David's Catholic or some other school. But just, invite schools to come. Could you imagine that as a prelude to intercall? Could you imagine that? What say you? What say you, Mr. Noel? What say you, Mr. Sinatra Sports Council? No, we just throwing out ideas, because I'm certain the whole of St. Andrews will come out for something like that, right?
Yeah, listen, so
Um, Ulrich is saying, ready to help with ideas. We'll be home for Easter. So Ulrich will be one that'll be home. Well, Ulrich is normally home for Easter because I think last Easter, myself and Ulrich and others, in fact, it was a St. Andrew's crew that met up in Lafayette. I think it's Lafayette, sorry, where Honorable Delma Thomas will have a sports meet. We met up there, and it was, I mean, legends of St. Andrews, yesteryear, they were there, and I was part of it. I'm not from St. Andrews, but I was in the midst. Edwin is saying, is there a meet at the stadium today? Yes, I think the Charlie George meet should be on this weekend, Edwin. But on a serious note, Javin, I mean, I like the sort of conversation we have had today. A lot of ideas being thrown out, but while talking and while listening to you, while listening to Julian, a lot of things just come to mind, with these sort of things. And I'm saying those things to you as well because I think because St. Andrews, the parish of St. Andrews, has been, you know, a leading contributor to the development of sports in Grenada. It's important that St. Andrews probably takes the lead. Okay, you have the opportunity. You have been meeting. I looked at your executive, and well-rounded. And another thing I'm noticing the executive, it's a lot of experience, but youth. Okay, yourself as the chairman, Basil Richards as vice chairman, Keisha Edgar is the secretary, Marvin Cox as treasurer, and your directors, Glyden Christopher, Sarah Mark, and Jake Rennie. I mean, what else you want from something like that? Youth,
and experience. Oh, certainly a good mixture, and I'm certain that you all can do wonders. Please um, convey our congratulations, one, and two, our ideas to the rest of your council, and we're certainly looking forward to great things in 2025 for St. Andrews Sports Council. Ulrich School saying Moncton. It was Moncton we were last Easter, and I'm certain that Ulrich School will be there this year again. Roger Duncan said, we won't get it right from go, we just need to start. That's the idea. That's the idea. You may not get everything right, so don't try to be perfect. Don't think about failing, right? Start, and you certain things may turn out good, certain things may not, but I'm certain along the way you will be able to succeed. Some closing remarks from you, Javin, and then Rudian. Um, Mike off, Rudian. Yeah,
Yeah, I just saying, let me just add something before and I'll just close up with that. Somebody should give me an idea of small goal. And we're just talking about in St. Patrick.
yeah,
They just use the Sotes area, right? Because of the
mm,
closeness of the Sotes hard court and the beach, and they say small goal, 3-3, one goal out. You're playing up on the
yeah,
hard court, then you go down to the to the field, and excitement day. You bring your team, you register your team, 3-3, one goal or two goal or the first three goals, you're out, and you go play another game. You go up to the hard court and you play on the hard court. You come back down on the beach, you play on the beach. So much different activities, and it just keep the people excited. It's
yeah,
just keeping the people excited by doing a lot of things. Even if you do a small goal on the beach, one goal, 3-3,
mm,
one goal. First goal, you're out. Next team, come on. Next goal, next team, come on. And you keep the youths, you keep the youths going. You keep the young people going. You give them things to do. We grew up by having so much activities we are doing. Nowadays it's a challenge, and I know they keep saying because of it's because of the technology. I think it's because there is no sporting activities for them. There is not
yeah,
much for them. I'm not only talking about St. Andrews. St. Andrews have clubs, they have things going, but other parishes there is
yeah.
nothing. So the
All right.
kids will go home and get on the tablet. So certainly my last remarks to you: continue doing what you're doing. I know you have a lot of great ideas there, but I would personally would just like to see more without stakeholders, without like I need permission to get it done. I just think you guys can do more, and in due time, once you guys have the meeting, you guys may say yeah or nay and get some things going. Because in the end, it is about the people of St. Andrews. It is not about the
All right.
government. It is not about that. It's just the people of St. Andrews. So certainly,
All right.
thanks again for coming on.
Javin, before you come on, and adding to what Rudian just said, Edwin Sam is saying, I think St. Andrews Sports is in good hands. This young
Yeah.
man seems ready for the challenges ahead. Good luck to you, Mr. Noel. Mr. Noel, your final comments.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sam, and thank you to both hosts and co-hosts for once again allowing and for starting with St. Andrew. Definitely, we do intend on leading from the front. You know, I just want to reiterate to the viewers and to persons listening and viewing. Um, do not underestimate the power in which we possess as one sports council, as sports enthusiasts. And I just want to make mention of, you know, the International Olympic Committee. Their mission or vision is inspiring the world through sports. And
Mhm.
that means think about all of the things that can be done through sports, inspiring young persons, inspiring the elder persons, inspiring camaraderie, increasing so much, mental health, mental wellness,
Mhm.
physical literacy, and just generally a good feeling of calm. It feels really nice. You're passing by a pastor and you just hear person shouting, 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 and you wonder what's going on. Let
Yeah,
me see
yeah,
what's going
yeah,
on there. And I
yeah,
mean, I have experienced those days, and I'm sure many can speak of it as well. So definitely we can get back to that point. Um,
yeah,
we cannot get back to it if just by speaking, we have to ensure that we get the job done. And we have to
yeah,
ensure that we work together in ensuring that what needs to be done is done in a true, transparent manner. So again,
Yeah.
thank you everyone. Thank you to the persons who have supported via the live. Thank you to the persons who have been reaching out to share their ideas. Again, I want to invite persons to collaborate with the St. Andrew Sports Council. Different persons who may have events coming up, um, you can share with us your plans, your vision, and we work with you as best as possible to collaborate to ensure that these events are done with the good quality, and all these things. So again, thank you
Yeah.
to everyone, and definitely look forward to moving forward as it relates to the St. Andrew Sports Council and the National Sports Council on a whole.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Noel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay then.
Thank you very
All
much,
right
man.
then. Yeah. So that's Mr. Javin Noel, who is the chairman of the St. Andrews Sports Council. And we're going to be hoping that after listening to Mr. Noel and getting it start, the ball rolling with the St. Andrews Sports Council, we're hoping that the others, will well, probably safe and except for Karaku, what Karaku went through, so they may have,
Yeah.
a little setback. In fact, I saw that they're now doing work on the playing field, the Hillsborough recreational ground, because
Mm-hmm.
it was like a dumping site, for the rebuilding of Karaku, right? So they're now clearing it now, and hopefully they should have it back up in the next few weeks. But we're hoping that the other parishes are similar, in a waiting mode, and in some instances might have been doing things. Hopefully, I'm just saying hopefully, but certainly hearing from Mr. Noel, it's a breath of fresh air, and we're wishing them all the best.
Certainly, certainly, I think so as
Yeah,
well, and I think like again, I guess speaking, I said I didn't like the slow coming out of
yeah,
certain things, the
well,
excitement in the
yeah,
beginning, and then and then what
yeah.
the one thing is about education. We have to educate
But
ourselves. There's some things like you said
would you
has to
say
go through a process.
Rudian, that to some extent you believe that like the momentum was lost or something like that? So
A little bit, a little bit. I was
yeah,
very
a little
excited
bit.
about
Yeah,
it. I was
right.
really excited about something. The minute they
Yeah,
get the board together, I think things should have been
yeah,
done. Activity should have been taking place. Like I said, things can be done without stakeholders, without certain things in the pride, letting the people know we are here, and the people know
yeah,
that we have a plan. And I think that's even having a town hall,
mhm,
people who's interested in sports. Like you have a town hall in certain places where people come out and you listen to them at the same time, their
yeah,
ideas and things they want to do, or you speak out. So I think a lot of the little things can be done, but I
mhm,
really hope that everything is on the go. And like I was about to say, education is important, and we got to educate ourselves. And while we were speaking, but we didn't know I didn't know much about certain things that were being processed and how it goes and the process. So education is important. We educate ourselves today why certain things wasn't in place. Now we know why.
yeah,
There's a process and there's layers of stuff they have to go through. It's not just you put me in a position and bam, I go ahead and do what I want to do. It's not like that.
yeah,
They have to go through the process. So certainly it's good to know that. So we'll be careful. That's why, Michael, it's important. We are here and we say a lot of things so many times without the information because those
yeah,
who in position choose not to come and give us the information. And we're just speaking out. So we are so careful on here saying we don't have the full information, but this is how we feel. This is our thoughts, but we don't have the full information in terms of something. So certainly,
yeah,
and that's the one thing I like about us when we come on here. We don't say things that we know for a fact. If we know it, we say it's fact. If we don't, we say we don't know the full information. This is just how we feel and so forth. So definitely, to everybody else, Roger and the rest Sam and the rest of them, thank you for coming on as usual. It's always a pleasure being on here.
yeah,
Until next week, same
yeah.
time, same
Okay
place.
then. Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Rudian. All the best.
no
Yeah.
problem. Have a good one. God bless you guys.
Okay then. Right then. So that's Rudy and Sylvan, a co-host in Toronto, and I'm Michael Bascom in New Orleans, in Louisiana. Thank you again for being part of our program. Looking forward to your company next week, God's willing, same time. It will be 3 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time, 2 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, and we'll have another program. Roger says, Tongue Hall, yes, good point, Rudian. Whoa, Rudian is smoking today. Yes, Roger. All right, folks, thank you very much. As I said, it's the Mardi Gras weekend. By the way, what you saw here is actually my number. So I was trying to, I'm actually in uniform, guys, but it sort of blend with the colors here in, the Mardi Gras colors, right? It's the gold, um, the green, and the purple, right? So it's sort of blended a bit. But thank you very much, folks. Until then, do have yourself a pleasant weekend.